It'd be awesome to hear a little bit more about kind of Dolly and what led to that project. You guys launched it a couple months ago. I saw
Yeah.
your nearly 10,000 GitHub stars now, and it's
Yeah.
been trending on Hacker News all the time
Yep.
and on Twitter all the time. So, maybe it'd be great to just hear a little bit more about the project and how that came to be.
Yeah, of course. So I think we recognized, particularly with the alpaca finding, that there was a suggestion that it may take fewer resources than you would have imagined to breathe life into this general purpose instruction following behavior. And I think it was unclear. So we've had large language model work in flight for quite some time. And so a lot of the public Dolly stack is work that we had just, for projects I can't really speak to yet, stay tuned,
Cool.
just had on hand. And so we saw the alpaca finding and it was like, well, first, we couldn't get the llama weights. And I get it. We too got a lot of inbound emails. I don't take it personally, but it was just like kind of a practical matter that we did not have the llama checkpoints. And so the alpaca data set was out there and it was, our leadership team is very, very attuned to what is happening academically and also in the marketplace. And I think suggested that there may be something here for the enterprise. And so kind of necessity, I'd worked with GPTJ and it was like, well, I wonder what will happen if we instruction tune this 2-year-old model. And that evening, it was writing love letters to Edgar Allan Poe. And I don't know if you've ever worked with GPTJ on like nat.dev or the Hugging Face space. It will not do that unless you teach it how. And so I think at that point, it begs a lot of questions about because Patrick, imagine that I came to you in July of last year. I swing by your house with my laptop and I'm like, look at what I've built. This has been possible for years. GPTJ was released in 2021. And it took Databricks 10 days to build the instruction following data set that we released as open source that gives these old models this capability. Anybody could have done this at any point in the past 2 years.
Yeah,
that's kind of weird.
Wild.
Yeah.
Do you think it was the finding at Stanford that made this all? They were like, okay, this is possible. Now we should go do a commercial version, or I guess why you guys and why Databricks, if anyone could have done it.
A couple things. So I think there's an element of it which is like the 4-minute mile. I know you're a performance athlete, and now it's a 2-hour marathon. It's like nobody could run a 4-minute mile until everybody could. It was like these sort of dawning recognition that this is physiologically possible. There's some neurochemical override that people hit walls. I think there's part of it is wow, this ChatGPT is the existence proof of this technology. And it begs the question, how can I build it? So people start asking. The other thing is that, I think there's a Goodhart's law effect in play, which is that any metric that you define as a metric becomes useless in the limit. And this is on our Hugging Face page, we led with this. Dolly is not a state-of-the-art model. I have gone to great lengths to express that there are many, many things that it cannot do. It is remarkable that it does what it does at all. But the benchmark metrics, when you look at Stanford Helm or Luther's, I actually don't know how to pronounce that team's name, if it's Eleutherei or Eleuther.
I actually don't either. I was hoping that you would pronounce it first, and then I could learn how it was pronounced, because I knew that you started with their weights, and so I was like, I hope Mike says this before I do. But yeah, I was
it's
say
better
Eleuther.
than Facebook's vector search index, which nobody, literally nobody knows how to face what FAISS. Anyway. So I think, if you look at the base model, GPTJ and Pythia 12 billion, the standard benchmarks relative to the instruction tune model, they're just really not distinguishable. But the behavior just could not be more different. And so I think, researchers kind of got this kind of tunnel vision and focused in on, can you pick the right answer out of a multiple choice list? Those benchmarks are things that were easy to automate the creation of, Boolean question answering. And I think they instrumented more of an understanding aspect. And so you kind of chased these metrics. The other thing is that even the Databricks Dolly 15K data set probably represents, let's say, between 500 and 1,000 hours of writing time.
Wow.
I think there was a local minimum that the scientific community occupied, which is that like the unsexy work of writing poems for computer scientists who are like, I just want to make GPUs go burr. Like, it's just like, I'm not going to like spend 500 hours writing summaries of Wikipedia articles to see if maybe that's useful training data. Yeah. And so I think that's part of the recognition as well that, this can be.
I mean, you got the entire Databricks org to do that in pretty short order, right? It seems like there was some latent demand for that.
Yeah, true. And I mean, I've said this before, but like it's a true credit to our colleagues that everybody took it real seriously. And I think you now you see that a lot of the foundation models that are being released have the Mosaic ML just released their MTB 7 billion checkpoint. And one of the things that they released was MTB 7 billion instruct. And it's fine-tuned on Anthropic and Databricks Dolly. And it's like that, is a durable, valuable AI artifact. And I think that is super cool and people wanted to be a part of that. And yeah, our team really rose to the moment.